Well, it's me from Tommy. It's Jesper from Denmark. And who's this? Jesper. There's a man staring at us.
Yeah, and he's not bald.
No, he's got hair. Who is this person called Steve Thornton? Just giving it away there. Steve, how are you?
Oh yeah, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm fine, and you're from Dan Sav. Now that's Scottish for England, Jesper. All right.
Oh, yeah.
But he stays in Wales. It's still south, isn't it, I suppose? So, Steve, I like the way that you've got all your flags up. What's going on? Is it Christmas early there or what?
Well, I had to decorate.
Honestly, I'm the only one that doesn't have a flag up. Yeah. Well, he's got his flags out anyway. Yes.
I'm more concerned about your lack of flags, Tommy.
Well, I'm sorry, but I'm Scottish and I'm not going to buy flags. All right. Honestly, I might draw some. I could draw some. You know what I mean? But listen, Steve, you've joined us, right? Which is it's a real shame because after this, right, you'll be going off your nut. You'll be thinking, what the hell have I just tuned? What have I got myself involved with here? Honestly, for the last 6 reviews, Jesper and I have been going through the Eurovision Song Contest entrance for 2021. All right. And Steve has joined us because he has got his top 10. And what we've done is we've taken all 3 top 10s and amalgamated them into an overall top 10. Okay. And we're going to go through it. Okay. And we'll have a quick discussion. Now, I promise, okay, that I won't say much. All right. I won't say much. Steve, it's your show. But listen, let's start off with the first country, which has ended up in 10th position after the amalgamation, and it's Greece. Right? Oh, okay. Now, Greece never appeared in my top 10. It appeared in your top 10s, Steve and Jesper. So why don't we start with Steve? Why you rated them where? 8th. What's your thoughts on the Greek entry?
Well, this was a surprise for me because usually with Greece, I like it when they go for something more Greek, like in 2018, an Eremo. I can't pronounce it properly, but I'm not that surprised they've gone something more mainstream this year, as they don't seem to do so well when they're more authentic with their entries. But this one, there's just something about it I really enjoyed. I like the 80s vibe of it. And I think with Stefania, we know that she can perform live. I believe she entered into JESC a few years ago.
Oh, right.
So she has experience on a stage. Mm-hmm. Obviously, this is a completely different league. But I think this is one that will definitely qualify. Mm-hmm. I just really enjoy listening to it. It's one I do go back to.
Right. Yes, but turning to you, I'm just going to rip my paper out here, right? Because honestly, it's in the road. You chose B for this, okay? So it's in your top 10. Do you think it's and with a chance of surprising people?
It's in my 7th place, actually. And I stick with the B. I think it will be an easy qualify for Greece this time. And I like this song so much better than the last year's Greek entry. So I have really high hopes for Greece. Yeah.
Well, I don't have it in the top 10. All right.
I
agree with Steve.
My cat is going crazy behind me again. She's trying to.
You got that cat in there again. Where's the cat now?
She went into the box again.
She's in the box, is she?
Yeah.
Honestly, we always have drama in these videos. Honestly, it's always something to do with a cat. But listen, Greece. Yeah, I agree with Steve. It's very 80s. In fact, there's a few entries that sound 80-ish this year. Some have done it really well, and some have done it really bad. Denmark. Anyway. So anyway, I agree with Steve on this. It'll qualify, but it won't hit the top 10 in my opinion. Although I did have a wee listen before I came on, and I thought it's not that bad. But lyrically, it's still poor in my opinion. Okay, so in our top 10, it's going to finish 10th. All right. Okay, and that's down to you two. Now, the song finishing in 9th position is going to be very interesting, okay? Because Steve hasn't got this in his top 10, okay? And the song that we've that's ended up in 9th position is Italy.
Oh,
So Jesper, you love Italy, don't you?
yeah. Well, I don't know if I love Italy, but
You're a wee headbanger, aren't you? You're a headbanger, aren't you?
yeah, I with my long hair and everything. Yeah,
Yeah, that's why you got no hair left.
yeah. But yes, I'm excited about the Italian entry this year. I like when they go outside the typical Sanremo box and choose something that is a little bit more different, and they've done so this year, and I really like it. So,
well, I have it down to do quite well as well. Okay, I think it reminds me a little bit of Iceland. Okay, but it's a little bit better, if you understand. The vocals are a little bit better. Now, I'm going to ask this question. I'm going to ask Steve this because Italy don't rate the Eurovision Song Contest, but they rate Sanremo a lot more. What's your thoughts on that? Why are the Italians kind of poo-pooing Eurovision? Or have I got it completely wrong?
Well, Italy was an interesting one for me because this is actually my number 11. So I'm not upset that it's in the top 10. It periodically creeps up into my top 10.
Yeah.
It's one that I switch around a bit. I think Sanremo is quite an interesting one because it's not designed for Eurovision. It's a festival in its own right. And I think because the entries that come out on top there aren't built for Eurovision, the audience have a slightly different approach to it. As opposed to, for instance, I'm just trying to think of some of the other ones, like the Dansk Melody Grand Prix, where the sole purpose is to find an entry for Eurovision.
And Melody Festivalen, obviously, as well. Well, I like I've liked the Italian entries. This is definitely not a typical Italian song, but I would say that yes, it's probably out of all of the I'm looking at it here. And I'm going to kind of give it. No, I'm not. I'm not going to say anything else because I'm going to spoil it otherwise if I say anything else. But Italy, right, rushing this to an end, it's finishing in 9th position. All right, so there we go. Let's go into, here we go. The song in 8th position. All right, and this is down to you too. Okay, I think I'm just having. No, it's not actually. It's down to you, Jesper. It's your fault. Okay, yeah. Because he rates it so highly, Steve, right? Finishing in 8th position is France. And I'll start off by saying that France is pretty boring this year, right? And I think it's going to be an up-tempo song and a party song, which is going to rule the roost because everybody wants to celebrate this year that Eurovision is back and the flags will be out. Look, you've got your flags out early. I mean, it's like Christmas trees being up early in your houses. I'm going to go for it's a party song going to win, and I'm sorry to say, right, but yes, but you've put this down as your second favourite, okay? And you did say to me it's jumping up and down from between first and second, and because of that, it's finished in 8th position in our overall chart. Steve, what's your thoughts?
I would lean more towards what you're saying, Tommy.
See, told you, Jesper.
I wouldn't say that I'm going completely for the up-tempo songs because you know what I've put as my number 1, which I won't give any spoilers.
I won't say another word.
Yeah. The French entry I haven't engaged with that much. It's quite low on my personal list, but I do think it will do very, very well. I think she is a very, very good performer. It's very engaging when you're watching it. It's just not my personal favourite style of music, so I struggle with it.
It reminds me of a bit of a Patricia Cass's entry, which was very sophisticated, and I thought too sophisticated for Eurovision. And in the end, it didn't make the top 10, did it? Or did I get it wrong? I don't think she made the top 10, did she? But yes, but it's your fault. It's your fault. France, number 2 on your list.
Explain yourself.
Love it. Yeah, come on, explain it.
Well, as I told you the last episode. I find it very playful.
I'm still confused with that. Playful.
Yeah, well, you know, when you use the melody to play with us,
Right.
and I really love it. I also know that it's not a song that everyone loves, so probably yeah, it's a difficult song to predict, but again, it's how different it is that is making me love it. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
well, it finishes in 8th position on our overall chart, and let's move on to the song in 7th position. And yet again, none of us have so far agreed, okay, on any of the songs, and we're not going to agree on this song. The country it finishes in 7th position is Sweden, and this is where Jesper and myself agree. And in actual fact, we both have it down as 5th favourites in our top 10s. But Steve, I'm going to start with you. You don't have it at all in your top 10. What's your thoughts on the Swedish entry?
No, the Swedish one doesn't feature in my top 10 this year. This is one where I feel like the song and the singer don't necessarily match that well. He's got a very unique style. He's got a very interesting story. And the song itself feels quite paint by numbers. It's very.
Okay.
It felt predictable to me, and it didn't gel as well for me. It's clearly popular. I think it's very, very easily going to be a qualifier, and I think it would very easily be a top 10 finish.
Do you
On a
agree with
personal
that?
base, it didn't gel as well for me.
Do you agree with that then, Jesper? Seeing as Sweden's right next door to you, and you'll probably give it 12 points.
yeah, Denmark will probably give it 12 points. And I would hate Denmark for doing that, but this year I wouldn't mind if they did. But it is a predictable song, as you said. It's what you would expect from Sweden. But in a year in the Melodi Festival, where you have some pretty big former stars, Erik Saade, I'm very, very pleased that they chose Tusse in the end instead of Erik Saade.
Well,
that would have sent Sweden to the bottom of my list if they had chosen him. So,
oh my goodness gracious me! Is that because of him or because of the song?
yeah, because of the song. I don't.
All
like,
right, okay then, that's okay.
Yeah.
Do Swedish artists hit the Danish charts? I mean, for example, has this song been getting played on Danish radio?
No, I haven't heard it.
Right.
On the other hand, I've heard the Norwegian song in the radio. Yeah, so it seems like Tix. Tix is.
Tix, yeah. I'm just looking down here. Norway hasn't featured in any of our top 10s. Well, I agree again. I think it is a predictable Swedish entry with a notable key change. Again, it's formulaic, if that's the right word, but it's finished in 7th position. I think it is going to be top 10. I think there's no doubt about it. So I'm going to give it, well, I've already given my score, so I'm talking about. It's finished in 7th position, right? It's the three of us, but of course, just Jesper and me giving it enough points to get into the top 10. Now, the song finishing in 6th position, and yet again, none of us have unanimously agreed. It's just Steve and myself this time, and we've gone for, in 6th position, Malta. Okay, so Jesper, why do Malta not feature in your top 10? Because I think you rated it, didn't you?
Actually, they would feature in my top 11. They just fell outside the top 10 on an 11th place.
Just missed it.
So, yeah, on any other day, maybe it would have been there.
Okay, and why do you like it so much then, Steve? Because you got it 6th favourite in your top 10.
6th for me. I think with this entry, there's a lot here. There's it's very memorable. It's catchy, and Destiny herself, she's a very strong performer. I think she's got the charisma to pull off a song like this. and for it to stay in your mind. It's just something I really enjoy listening to. I find it very engaging, and I genuinely think this could be Malta's first win.
Right. Well, a lot of people are saying that actually, Steve, because Destiny has got a great voice, and she's of course had some experience by winning Junior Eurovision a few years ago. And I thought her song last year was pretty good, so they've come back with an even better song. And I rated it 4th in my top 10. But yes, I think this has got a strong chance for Malta, and they would love to win it, wouldn't they? They would love to win it, Malta. But yeah, that's finishing 6th overall. Now, I'm going to be honest with you here, right? The song that finishes in 5th position is down to you two, and I'm a bit surprised. Okay, so you're going to have to explain this to me. The song that finishes in 5th position is Ireland, all right? And Steve, you've got them down in 4th position, but Jesper, you've got them down as 3rd favourites. What's going on? Honestly, Ireland, 3rd favourites from Denmark. Explain.
Well, it's so energetic, and I really enjoy it. I liked the song last year, and I hope she would find something that fit last year's theme, and she certainly did. She didn't disappoint me. And well, the only concern I have is if she can take over what she's shown us in the video and put it on stage. And that's my big concern.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Really, she could flunk it.
Well, you were down, as I said, for 4th favourite, Steve. So what's your thoughts?
Well, neighbour voting, innit?
That's true.
No,
it's true. Mind you saying that, they don't vote for us.
I know. When did we last get a point for that? Or from you, Denmark?
Yeah, exactly, yes, but come on. You're due us a few points.
I do agree with Jesper here. It's just a fun song. It's really energetic. I do hope she can carry this across to the stage. But the notes I'd taken on it was, it's the kind of song I would listen to on a road trip. Wind down the windows, blare it out. And where we've been stuck inside all the time, it just made me feel like I want to get out.
So maybe this one will win, actually. Yeah. Could Ireland win again?
Well, that's
nice. It's a valid point, which Steve's saying there. It's and again, it's going back to what I think. I think it's going to be an up-tempo song. But sorry, Steve, were you going to finish what you were saying?
Oh no, I was just jumping in with random words.
Well, I have to be honest and say that Ireland's song is the same as last year's. Okay, it's the same,
and that's why we like it.
And no, I don't. No, there's some countries that have come back with originality. Like I'll say Malta, even the UK, for example. His was a ballad last year's come back with something up tempo. And I'm really sorry to say this about Leslie Roy, because I'm sure she's a fantastic performer. It's the same format. It's the same song. And Story of My Life was excellent. It's a real strong entry, and this one is just almost identical, if not worse, if that's the right way to describe my feelings on Ireland. But I actually have it down for a C, so I think it's going to struggle to actually qualify for the final. So very interesting differences there. Steve and Jesper rating it so high, contended to win the overall contest, and I've got it down to fail to get to the grand final. So very interesting to see what happens. Right, so Ireland in 5th position. Right, what's going on? Right, now here we go. It's where we have a wee drum roll, because for the first time, all three of us agree on this country. They feature in all of our top 10s. Saying that, Steve, it just crawls in your top 10, because in 4th position is Lithuania. Steve, you've got it in 10th position.
Well, this is just based on the personal rankings here, which seem to swing around an awful lot for me this year. There's such variety.
Right.
And this is one that has fairly consistently been in the top, but it hasn't aged as well for me.
Right.
The novelty of it and the enjoyment of it has faded a bit. but I do think it will do very well, and most of the viewers will be seeing this for the first time. So I do think it has a good chance.
Well, I mean, I've got it down as my overall favourite to win because I loved it when I first heard it. But do you know what? I obviously have not been doing a radio show for this Eurovision season, so I've not been playing a lot of these songs. So therefore, unlike maybe yourselves, these are still kind of fresh in my mind. And I just love Discotheque by The Roop. Again, I think it's better than the entry from last year. And I think it could surprise. I really do think it's going to be an up-tempo song that'll win, which will disappoint some countries. But if it's going to be an up-tempo one, it's going to be a fun one, and Lithuania are certainly up there. So I've got it as my top choice, okay? And Jesper, moving across to you. Jesper, you've got them doing this at 9th. Goodness gracious me, they're just squeezed into your top 10. What's happening there?
Position 9, 10, 11, 12. They constantly move up and down the list for me. In my 12th place is Iceland. 11 is Malta. Again, there's no reason for it to be in the top 10 other than it was what I preferred that day. It could have fallen out of my top 10. But I do like it, and I do like it better than their entry last year. I also, as you, think that it will do very well in Rotterdam. So, but I doubt if it will win.
Right. Well, that finishes in 4th position. There's another up-tempo song coming up and has a difference of opinion. And this is where Steve and I both agree. And Jesper, you don't have them at all in your top 10. But San Marino look as if they're on course to have their best finish at any Eurovision Song Contest, because we've got them down overall as 3rd. In our top 10. I've got them down as number 3 in my top 10, and so does Steve. Steve, my worry for the San Marino entry is actually her vocals on the night. I actually am now beginning to think that this could be one of those songs, and it reminds me a bit like the UK national final in 2018. Was the name Asanda? I can't remember her name now.
Yeah.
And it was when Suri won, and the hot favourite was this dance one from I think it was a 16, 17, 18-year-old, and the performance on the night was terrible. No, I better not say that. It was not good, right? Didn't come across well on the television. The vocals are a bit nervous, and it's very, very hard to perform an up-tempo song and to carry it. And I think that's my big concern with Senate and San Marino this year, even though she's got Florida. But I don't think he's going to turn up. I think he's going to do his via video screen or something like that, which might just save it. But San Marino number 3. If she gets the vocals right, could well be the best placing for them. Steve, what's your thoughts?
I agree with what you've said, actually, there. I do worry about how this will come across live and how they would stage it. Senate's got a very flamboyant and quirky style, and we've seen that through her Freaky Road to Rotterdam. Was it the series she did? I think that could create chaos on the stage if it's done wrong. And if it's done right, this could go very well. We'll have to see, I suppose. But I think my feeling on where this will finish is I don't see this winning, but it would be really nice for them to get a top 10, just supporting the underdog here.
Do you think then if San Marino do well, that it might encourage other countries to come back into the fold, like Andorra, who have always said that micro-states don't have a chance? Do you think that might just see the door open for them? It
would be a lovely outcome if that happened.
Yeah. Well, yes, but you don't rate it.
Andorra, didn't they actually talk about returning next year? I think Susanne Georgi have been advocating a lot for it.
Yeah, but obviously, I think a few countries say they're going to come back and then they don't. And I mean, there was a rumor that Luxembourg were going to come back, and then of course it was poo-pooed immediately by, I think, wasn't it poo-pooed by the TV or government or whatever, a government official. But it would be good, wouldn't it, to get some old countries back? But you haven't got San Marino in the top 10. So at this precise moment, Jesper, right? It doesn't look as if Denmark are going to vote for San Marino. So there's no chance of Andorra coming back. But your fault.
Well, no, San Marino is not in my top 10. I replaced them with Denmark. But I have a feeling we won't see them in our joint top 10.
We'll talk about it, though. We will talk about it.
San Marino's song is, for me, not very interesting. I easily get bored with this kind of songs. I didn't like the last attempt from her. And I actually have it down in my bottom 10 on the list. So.
But you mean bottom 10 as in your top 20?
No.
Well, oh, here we go, Steve. He's going to be awkward here now, Steve. He's going to be awkward.
No.
He's going to be awkward. He went for a B. I've got it here. He went for a B. You said it was going to... Yes, you did.
We were rating how...
it would get into the grand final, you said.
Yes, but it's not my personal... I also said that Cyprus would end up qualifying with ease, and I hate Cyprus song.
Yeah, you did, actually. Yeah, you did. You had it done for a name. Well, San Marino have got a chance here to impress the pants off Europe, so let's see what they do. We've got them down as third, okay? Now, I'm stunned here by the song that's number 2, although I'm kind of pleasantly pleased because I do actually think the song's good, but it's down to you and Jesper, Steve, because Belgium are the second favourites. Now, I like the song, but I think it's so, again, it's a sophisticated song. I like Hooverphonic, and I think they're just, I actually said this, I think they're going to finish probably 11th in the semi-final, okay? And I'm just clicking that there. Basically, I think they're just going to miss out on this on the grand final, but Steve, you've got them down as second favourites.
Well, I've got them down as my second personal favourite.
Yeah.
But I do agree that I think they are at risk of missing out in the grand final. They're in semi-final 1, which is a bit of a bloodbath by all accounts here.
Right, okay.
And we've seen with Belgium, when they go for some of these more atmospheric songs, they can tend to miss out. We saw a few years ago with Elliot, and before that, Senek before that. The difference here I see, though, is that Hooverphonic are an established act already. They have their own mind on how they would like to stage this, I'm assuming. So I don't think they will settle for bad staging. So I see a little bit of hope there, but on a personal note, they are my second favourite.
And Jesper, you've got them down as fourth favourites in your top 10.
Yes, I agree, Steve. They seem to know exactly what they're doing, and I really, really like their music. Will the rest of Europe like it? I'm not sure. I like the melancholic mood it has to it, and I really hope that they will qualify and that they will do very well.
Well, number 2, you've got them number 2 overall. So let's reveal number 1. Okay, and everybody is sitting there thinking, what could it be? Well, I have to be honest with you, all three of us have actually rated this song very, very highly. Okay, you have got them down as number 1, Steve. Jesper, you've got them down as number 1, and I've got them down as number 2. And the country which the three of us think are going to win the 2021 Eurovision Song Contest is Switzerland. For the first time since Celine Dion turned up looking like, I don't know what she looked like, to be honest with you. It was that weirdest dress I've ever seen in my life. But Switzerland, we have got them down as number 1 to win this year. Now, it's very dramatic. but Steve, and I know Jesper, you love it. Steve, what's your thoughts on Switzerland?
Absolutely love this one. It's one that the more I listen to, the more I like as well. It's not getting old. I just get drawn into it and find myself wanting to watch it more and more. And I'm really excited to see what he does on stage.
Mm.
And Jesper?
Yeah, I had so high hopes for Switzerland last year. And when I heard his song this year, I just celebrated, because I really I really enjoyed that it was exactly the same style and the same mood, and he's so gifted. He has an amazing voice, and that should be how to say, awarded as well, preferably with the first prize.
Well, I didn't like last year's song, to be honest with you, but I do like this year's song. But I still think it's going to be an up-tempo song that'll win, just simply because the amount of house parties that'll be probably people, trying to enjoy themselves. But you can't get away from the fact that it's a very dramatic song. So between the three of us, Switzerland will win this year's Eurovision Song Contest. Now, we're running out of time here, right? Okay, we are running out of time. But I want to bring Steve in here, okay, because considering the fact that Jesper's from Denmark and we're from the UK, let's talk about our own entries and what chances we think, right, these two countries will have. So we'll start with the UK. What's your thoughts on the UK, Steve?
Well, I think this is a good effort from the UK. This is one of our better attempts for a decade or more. I can't see us winning with this, but I don't think that was ever really up for discussion.
No. No.
I think we've got a good chance of getting one of the highest scores we've had in a long time here. But I'm kind of pouring on fake praise here, aren't I?
I can't. I'm going by past experience that we've had some better songs, and we go in with slightly higher hopes than the year before, and then we end up getting more disappointed. And I think that we could actually probably end up finishing last again. But it's not a massive favourite of mine, but I do understand why it's popular, because it is something different. I was just thinking actually last night about the 1995 contest when Love City Groove turned up, and they performed the first rap song, I think, at Eurovision, and it was so off-centre, right, that it caught. I think it caught Europe unawares, and it was good to see. And when you look back, it's good to see that the UK were kind of doing something different, trying to bring the contest into a sort of modern era. But unfortunately, what's now happened is that the rest of Europe are doing all of that, and we're going backwards. We're desperately scrabbling about in the dirt to try and find a formula that's going to work, and it's not the way it should be. So this song is different, and I hope James Newman can pull it off. I think he was talking about his vocal coach the other day, so that got me slightly worried. Yeah, I still think we're going to finish pretty poorly, but let's see if we're going to get any points this year, Steve, from Denmark. Jesper, do you think Denmark or Danish will go for it?
They could, although it might not be 10s or 12s. We will end up to
A one or two will be fine.
Yeah, but I think sadly it's a little bit forgettable, the UK entry. And I rated it higher, but it just keeps dropping in my list. I don't know if it will end up last as you predict, Tommy, but I'm afraid it won't be in the top 10.
It's certainly not the worst song, I have to be honest with you. It's not the worst song out there.
No, definitely not.
But yeah. Well, listen, it's the very last country we're going to talk about is Denmark. Now, Steve, I'm going to start with you, right? Because I really don't think I've put Denmark down as a D. I think they've got no chance of qualifying. I think it's probably one of the worst Danish entries I've ever heard in my puff. And yes, it's going back to the mid '80s or early '80s, but it was like a song that you've probably finished third place in the Danish national final. Sorry, Jesper. Oh, look at his face. He's not happy. Steve, he's not happy. Look at his face. He's getting redder and redder. Steve, what's your thoughts?
Right. During the national final season, I was listening to ESC radio quite a bit.
Right.
And this song kept coming on, and I was thinking, I've got quite a good knowledge of the 80s Eurovision songs. Why don't I recognise this one? It took me quite a while to realise it was not an actual 80s song.
Did you like it, though?
I didn't dislike it. I didn't particularly like it. It was just there.
Yeah. Yes, but he's not happy, Steve. Look at his face.
Sorry, yes, but
I think it's happier than you, though.
Again, I mean, they've been quite busy promoting it, I have to be honest. They're on YouTube and they've got their own wee channel and stuff like that. But how's it going down in Denmark then?
The Danes love this song.
Do they?
It's really popular, but it is one of those songs that just separates people. Like, it's really no, apart from Steve, that has it like in the middle of the road. It's a love-hate song, but but I just get so happy. You wanted party. This is party. You talk about coming.
Yeah, because it'd be a tune.
Coming back to the 80s. So.
And they're singing in Danish, aren't they? They're singing in Danish. They're going to sing in Danish.
Yes.
Right,
they will sing in Danish. Øve os på hinanden.
What?
It's a øve os på hinanden.
Oh.
It means like
I'll take your word for it.
On each other. Yeah.
Well, let's see what happens. But certainly, what's been very, very evident is the difference of opinion, different taste as well, and that's the whole point of Eurovision. You've got Denmark down in 6th position. Your top 10, just noticed here, Jesper.
I get so happy when I hear it. So.
Right, I'll take your word for it. But listen, Steve Thornton, thank you so much for coming on, okay, and taking part in this, okay. We must do it again because we're thinking of doing some retro Eurovision, aren't we, Jesper? Yeah?
Yes, we are.
Now, the idea with that would be that you would choose a year and then you would select your top 10 and then we'd go through it just the way we've done it just now. We'll find our overall top 10, okay? We might get other people involved. That'll be fun. But listen, Steve, you look after yourself, okay? And watch your head as you go through that living room with the flags. And Jesper, it will be. Oh no, hold on a second. I'm getting carried away here. Aren't we going to come back and do a show on the songs that we think are going to do really poorly? Are we doing that, Steve? Are you up for that?
Yeah.
You up for that? Right, we'll do it again then. Right, we'll do it again. Okay, I'll try and have some liposuction first.
By doing that.
What? Sorry. We'll have dislikes all over the place. We'll have dislikes all over the place. I could actually tell you right now what my bottom one is. Oh, it's Denmark. Anyway. I think Denmark might feature in that one, actually. Anyway, we'll get our top 10. We'll get our top 10. And if we choose the song which we think hasn't got really a chance, it's a shame. But we'll have to do it, don't we? But anyway, listen, I'll let you go, okay?